1972 started out hot for the Oilers, but it changed quickly. Fake punt by Billy Van Heusen resulted in a 66-yard touchdown. Steve Ramsey to Billy Masters for 6 points. Then it was Ramsey to Rod Sherman for a 55-yarder. Then Ramsey scored on this keeper play. The Broncos rushed for 239 yards, while the Oilers only ran for 54. Oilers owner Bud Adams hired his 8th head coach in 13 years, Bill Peterson, who had put in only 1 year of a 5-year contract as head coach at Rice University. Peterson was signed to a staggering, then unheard of 10-year Oilers contract. Week 2 started like Week 1 left off. Jim Kick didn't get touched until he was 10 yards downfield. Mercury Morris zipped 15 yards before an Oiler touched him. It took another 10 yards to tackle him. Hubert Ginn got in on the action. Even Bob Greasy got in on the act. Miami had 435 yards total offense to Houston's 167. The Oilers' only touchdown came on this 82-yard dazzler. Dan Pastorini to future Hall of Famer Charlie Joyner. In Week 4, the Raiders destroyed the Oilers 34-0. The Oilers only had 7 first downs and 89 net yards of offense. The quarterbacks were 4 of 25 passing. Forget this, -1 net yards with 5 interceptions. Terry Bradshaw was all smiles in the pregame warm-ups. But Elvin Bethea changed his tune when he rubbed that smile off his face. Number 32, Ward Walsh, blocked Bobby Walden's punt and recovered it for a touchdown. These were the only points scored by the Oilers in this game and the prior one. Dan Pastorini was sacked 5 times for 40 yards and losses, and the Oilers had 0 net passing yards for the game. So they had -1 net passing yard between weeks 4 and 5 against the Raiders and the Steelers. The Oilers didn't cross midfield until late in the fourth quarter, and they punted 10 times. Number 39, Robert the Tank Holmes, held true to his nickname, though. Veteran running back John Frenchie Fuqua carved up the Oilers. Even Bradshaw got into the end zone against the hapless Oilers. This diving catch by Frank Lewis rounded out the scoring. Steelers 24, Oilers 7. The Oilers were sick and tired of losing and played rugged, aggressive defense, but they still gave up 496 yards to the Bengals. The Oilers could only muster 145 yards of offense. Number 18, Paul Robinson's display of joy is ridiculous when you consider that Houston was losing 30-0 prior to this play. The Oilers' leading pass receiver only had 23 yards. We can see why with the tremendous pass rush displayed by the Bengals all day. Both Bengals running backs ran for over 100 yards, and they had a team record 29 first downs. Cleveland fans didn't want to watch this sad Oilers team. The crowd was the smallest in the prior 6 years. This promising drive resulted in a first down on the 1-yard line of the Browns, but in 4 attempts, the Oilers failed to score. Catching punts was a problem for the Oilers. And tackling was another problem. The Oilers only had 93 net yards passing in this loss. The Eagles-Oilers game was billed as the Losers Bowl because the loser would have the inside track in selecting Johnny R. Superstar, the nickname of Johnny Rodgers of Nebraska. The Eagles had gone 14 straight quarters without registering a touchdown, and it would grow to 18 at the end of this game. But number 28, Al Nelson, gave it his best effort on this 78-yard return. Tom Dempsey kicked 6 field goals, just one short of the NFL record. And the main Oilers highlight was this spewing helmet car. With 16 seconds remaining, kicker Skip Butler missed this 43-yard field goal. 1972 Eagles' other win was also just by 1 point. After 6 straight losses, were the Oilers heading towards a youth movement? Arthur Lane torched the Oilers on a 36-yard touchdown run early. He ended up with 125 yards on the day. Quarterback / punter Dan Pastorini outkicked his coverage here. And number 22, John Staggers, made him pay by returning it 85 yards. Packers punter Ron Whidbey threw his first pass of his NFL career. It was good for a 68-yard touchdown. He threw it to a third-string wide receiver by the name of Dave Davis. Probably the only highlight of his career, I'm guessing. All I can say here is, poor Dan Pastorini. This guy suffered immeasurably this season. The Oilers brought their 7-game losing streak to sunny San Diego. However, the Chargers didn't treat their visitors very well. Jesse Taylor blocked this punt and then recovered it for a touchdown. Number 30, Bryant Salter picked off this Dan Pastorini pass and ran it back 41 yards. You know it's bad when your best execution is recovering an onside kick. The Oilers rushed for a season-low 51 yards with their leading ground gainer only chewing up 17 yards. With the Oilers' losing streak at 8 games, they tried to intimidate and bully the Atlanta Falcons. The trouble with this strategy is that they tried it on the Falcons' sidelines. Dan Pastorini took so much of a beating against the Chargers the prior week that the Oilers started former Bears cast-off Kent Nix. Number 34, Ray Brown intercepted the first of 2 of his for the day and rambled 46 yards. On 3rd and 1, Kent Nix hooked up with 0-0 Ken Burrow. But guess what? An Oilers penalty canceled the touchdown. Then the Falcons made them pay. Claude Humphrey covered this fumble. Kent Nix kept firing away, and the Falcons kept picking him off. Two Oilers quarterbacks plus running back Fred Willis threw for a total of 5 interceptions, two of which were in the Falcons' end zone. Dan Pastorini came off the bench. He said, "What the heck? Let me fire it away to 00 Ken Burrow." But it was a case of too much, too little, and way too late. Franco Harris had 6 straight 100-yard rushing games, and the record was 7, held by the incomparable Jim Brown. Harris fell short of 100 yards in this game, but he did pass the 1,000-yard mark for the year. This was a very physical game as Terry Bradshaw dislocated the third finger of his throwing hand and left the game in the second quarter. Man, he looks like he's in a lot of pain. The Steelers' backup quarterback Terry Hanratty was on the reserved list and unavailable for duty, so rookie Joe Gilliam got to absorb his share of bruises. Number 47, Mel Blount, put running back Paul Robinson onto the hard Astrodome playing surface with this textbook tackle. Dan Pastorini left the game early with a leg injury. Number 75, Mean Joe Green, was a menace in this game. Kent Nix replaced him and fared no better as Oilers quarterbacks were sacked 4 times and only engineered 150 yards of total offense. Number 12, Ed Baker, started his first NFL game. It would be the only NFL game of his career. He was 4 of 10 passing with 4 interceptions and was sacked 2 times. Number 20, Lamar Parrish had a career day, intercepting 3 passes and returning 2 for touchdowns. Houston was using their Matador defense in this game. Ole!